Have you ever wondered why certain people seem to distance themselves from you without giving a reason? Why you enter a room and heads turn, not always in admiration, but sometimes with uncertainty or even unease? Why some are instantly drawn to you only to pull away just as quickly, like they've touched something far too real? No, you're not being dramatic, and no, you're not too much. What you are is powerful, and it shows. This video is for the ones who've always felt like outsiders, not because they were lacking, but because they carried something too deep for most to grasp, a presence, a fire, a certain vibration that unsettles those not ready to face truth. Your aura speaks louder than your voice. It walks into rooms before you do, and it whispers in a language that only those who've done the work can recognize. See, when your energy is grounded, when your soul has been forged through pain and turned into wisdom, you don't move through life like everyone else. You walk with a kind of presence that disrupts lies, challenges masks, and demands truth. You don't shout, but your silence carries weight. And while some will admire you for it, others won't understand it. They'll call you intense. But what they really mean is, you make me feel things I'm not ready to face. That's the cost of power. Not everyone can hold it. Not everyone can stand near it. When that power flows through your body, through your words, through your energy, it leaves a mark. People notice. They stare, but they don't speak. They feel something deep in your presence, but avoid your eyes. They move toward you like moths to flame, but retreat as soon as they feel the heat. Not because you burned them, but because you illuminated parts of themselves they weren't ready to see. Let's break this down. The clear, raw signs that your energy shakes rooms, shifts perspectives, and silently commands respect. If you've ever been called too much or felt like people were drawn to you and then disappeared, this is your confirmation. Your presence is powerful. Your energy is rare, and it's time you fully understood why. Have you ever walked into a space and immediately felt the temperature shift, like the energy changed, not because of what you said, but because of who you are? Ever noticed people getting nervous, hesitating, fidgeting when you're near? You're not making it up. You're not overthinking it. What they're reacting to is your energy, the truth in you. And truth, when it walks into a room, demands attention. Some people aren't ready for that. Some people have built their entire identity on pretending, on hiding, and your presence threatens all of that. Because your energy speaks the truth without saying a word. You intimidate people without trying. You don't chase the spotlight, but somehow it finds you. Conversations pause when you enter. People adjust themselves without knowing why. It's not about your appearance or your voice. It's the way you carry yourself. It's the confidence in your silence, the steadiness in your steps. And to those who feel small inside, that can be terrifying. You speak honestly, even when it's uncomfortable. You don't engage in fake talk or pretend to laugh at things that don't sit right with you. Something feels off, you say it. When someone's pretending, you sense it instantly. And while others might see you as too blunt, they always remember you. Because deep down, they know you're the real deal. And realness in a world addicted to pretense is rare. You see through people. It's not about reading their words. It's about reading their energy. And you do it effortlessly. Someone can tell you their story, but you feel what's behind it. You sense their wounds, their fears, their lies. That makes people uneasy because they know they can't fool you. And some people would rather avoid you than risk being exposed by your presence. You attract people, then confuse them. You're magnetic. People want to be close to you even if they don't know why. But once they get a little too close, they realize you're not like anyone they've met. You're calm but deep, soft but unshakable. You don't need attention to feel valuable. You're grounded in yourself. And that makes people question everything they thought they knew about strength and connection. You don't rely on others to feel whole. You're fueled from within. Solitude doesn't scare you. It restores you. You don't need a relationship or constant interaction to feel valid. You've learned that power is found in silence and sitting with yourself. And for people who can't stand being alone, that's confronting. You remind them of what they've avoided. And that makes your presence overwhelming, not because you're too much, but because they're too disconnected. If you've ever felt rejected or misjudged simply for existing, stop blaming yourself. Your energy isn't too much. It's just too real for people who are still performing. Your presence brings truth. And truth doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it shakes people. And when you carry that kind of energy, some will respect you, others will retreat, but both will be impacted. You don't chase people anymore. You attract what aligns. You're not begging for love or recognition. You're done explaining your worth. You've done the work. You've grown. And that shows. You're not lowering your standards just to be chosen. And yes, that might make people uncomfortable, but it also makes you powerful. You trigger people without trying. Your presence holds a mirror. And when someone is insecure, your self-assurance shines a light on their chaos. Your peace reveals their anxiety. Your confidence forces them to see where they're lacking. And so they project, they pull away, they gossip, they criticize, but none of it is about you. It's about the discomfort your presence stirs in them. You have boundaries that people can feel. Without saying a word, you let people know how to treat you. You don't entertain drama. You don't respond to manipulation. And that inner calm, that control, it unnerves people who are used to pushing limits. Your energy says, I know who I am. And that alone changes the atmosphere. Your journey inspires people even when you're silent. Your resilience makes others reflect on their own choices. You don't have to preach. You just live your truth. And people watch that. They feel it. You're a walking example of how pain can become purpose. And even if they never say it, they're changed by being near you. Not everyone will get you. Not everyone will like you. But you weren't made for everyone. You were made to shake souls, not just hold hands. You were made to shine so brightly that it stirs people awake, even if it blinds a few along the way. A powerful aura is not just about perception. It's about energy, and yours comes from experiences, heartbreaks, healing, solitude, and growth. You didn't wake up like this. You fought to become like this. Your presence is a result of what didn't break you. You make silence feel full. You don't need to fill the air with noise. You're comfortable with stillness, and that makes people uneasy because your quiet reveals their need for distraction. Your stillness reflects their inner chaos, and when you do speak, it lands because you choose your words with care. You don't talk to impress. You speak to connect, and people remember that. You don't feel the need to prove yourself anymore. There was a time when you wanted to be validated, to be seen, but now, you know your worth, you walk in your truth, you don't compete, you align, and that calm confidence, it can't be shaken by opinions people project onto you. When someone hasn't dealt with their wounds, your strength can feel threatening. They'll call you arrogant when you're just assured. They'll say you're cold when you're just clear. But that's not your burden to carry. You're not here to absorb other people's insecurities. You're here to be a mirror, and mirrors don't lie. You finally accepted that you're not for everyone. And that's your superpower. You don't water yourself down anymore. You don't shrink to fit places that were never meant to hold your full truth. You're not here to comfort everyone. You're here to awaken those ready to rise. You're not living on autopilot. You're intentional with your time, your energy, your presence. You're selective with your words. You move with purpose. You protect your peace. And in doing so, you disrupt everything false around you. You no longer edit yourself to be palatable. You've stopped pretending. You've stopped dimming your light for people who refuse to wear shades. And that truth, that raw, unfiltered authenticity, it changes people, it shakes them, and some will love you for it, others will avoid you, but both will be moved. You're okay in solitude. You don't need noise to feel alive. You don't need an audience to feel worthy. Your peace comes from within. And for those who rely on chaos to feel something, that's terrifying. You earn this energy. Every scar, every lesson, every lonely night added something to your soul. You kept showing up when you could have given up. You kept shining when life tried to dim you. That's not just resilience, that's power, and it radiates from you now undeniably. You've learned to protect your energy. You don't beg for spaces anymore. You don't cling to places that ask you to be less. If a room can't hold your full self, you walk out. No guilt, no shame, just grace. You set boundaries not to be cruel, but to stay aligned. You've learned what peace costs, and you're not willing to trade it for anything anymore. You don't seek to impress. You seek to be real. Your life speaks for itself. Your presence inspires, your energy teaches, and whether they admit it or not, you're leaving footprints on hearts just by being you. Yes, your light will be too much for some. Let them go. They're not your people. The right ones will feel your frequency and rise to meet it. They'll see you. Not just your face, but your spirit. And they won't ask you to shrink. They'll ask you to stand taller. A powerful aura doesn't ask for permission. It simply shows up. It's not here to be understood by all. It's here to be felt by those ready. So stop apologizing for who you are. You're not a threat. You're a mirror. And only the brave can look you in the eye. Your aura was never meant to be understood by the weak. It was meant to awaken the powerful. If you felt this truth, hit that subscribe button. Magnetic mindset is where your energy belongs.